Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into something that might just change how you handle the difficult people in your life. We're unpacking the philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche, specifically his take on why tolerating disrespect literally destroys your dignity. We're going to look at 7 specific acts of disrespect you might actually be letting slide, and why Nietzsche argued you've got to put a stop to them right now. So let's start with a moment of real, honest reflection. Are you too forgiving? Are you the kind of person who always goes out of your way to help others? If that sounds like you might be wondering why, despite all your incredibly good intentions, you still end up getting stepped on or taken advantage of or spoken to rudely. It's like you give people grace, and you just get grief in return. It's a hugely frustrating paradox, right? On one hand, you're offering kindness, you're helping out, you're forgiving missteps easily, but what do you get in return? Boundary violations, rudeness, and people just being totally opportunistic. So how exactly does being a good person result in being treated so terribly? Well, to hear that out, we have to turn to a philosopher who had some very intense, unapologetic thoughts on power and self-worth. Enter Friedrich Nietzsche. His core, totally uncompromising idea was this: constantly forgiving disrespect is not a sign of supreme kindness. It's actually a profound loss of your personal dignity. He really believed that true strength is measured by your ability to defend your own worth. So a person who just easily accepts disrespectful behavior, they end up quietly bleeding away their personal power. Now, Nietzsche coined a really fascinating concept for this. He called it the morality of weakness. He fiercely criticized this whole idea that excessive forgiveness is some kind of ultimate virtue. Instead, he saw it as an open invitation for exploitation. Think about it. When you constantly turn the other cheek, opportunists don't see your compassion as kindness. They just see it as a weakness to exploit. So to protect ourselves, Nietzsche identified specific behaviors we absolutely have to stop tolerating. Let's look at Theme 1, Deception and Betrayal. These are acts that strike right at the foundation of human connection: deliberate lying and betrayal. Now, we often try to justify these things when they happen to us, right? We say, oh, everybody makes mistakes. But lying intentionally is not just a little misstatement. It means the person is implicitly saying, you don't even deserve the truth. And betraying your trust? That reveals a severe lack of loyalty and a total failure to honor commitments. These are not harmless errors, guys. They are clear, blaring signals that the person fundamentally lacks consideration for you. Nietzsche famously stated, the truth is a form of courage. He argued that someone who constantly lies to you simply lacks courage. But even more importantly, it shows they don't respect your intelligence. If you forgive this behavior again and again, you're sending a loud and clear message that you have absolutely zero boundaries, effectively greenlighting their cowardice. Moving right along to Theme 2, Social and Emotional Devaluation. So this is where disrespect gets a little more subtle, but honestly, it's incredibly toxic. First up, public put-downs. Maybe they make little jokes at your expense at a dinner party. It might seem totally innocent in the moment, but it's actually a subtle social power play to gain the upper hand. Second, treating you like an option. You know the type, canceling at the last minute or disappearing for weeks. They're making you a backup choice. And third, minimizing your emotions. You express that you're hurt and they just roll their eyes and tell you you're too sensitive. That is straight up emotional manipulation designed to make you doubt your own reality. All 3 of these acts are carefully designed to diminish your value. But here is the thing you have to remember. Respect begins with how you react to disrespect. According to Nietzsche, a truly strong individual does not let others define their worth. If you just laugh off that public humiliation to avoid an awkward moment, or if you wait around as someone's backup plan, you're reinforcing their bad behavior. You are literally giving them permission to devalue you. And that brings us to Theme 3, Exploiting Your Boundaries. This is where that morality of weakness we talked about really rears its ugly head. People will constantly test your limits. They do this first by just flat out ignoring your boundaries, invading your personal space, demanding your time, trying to decide things for you, and second, by blatantly taking advantage of your kindness. We all know someone like this, right? The friend who always needs a favor, but the second you need them, absolute crickets. Nietzsche believed that if you don't establish your own rules and protect your space, you're going to end up completely drained and exploited in a totally unbalanced relationship. We really have to recognize the vast difference between genuine respect and mere opportunism. True respect is balanced. It honors your limits regardless of what you're providing to the other person. Opportunism, on the other hand, means they only respect you when you are actively doing them a favor. Let's be real. If someone's respect for you vanishes the exact moment you say no, well, it was never respect to begin with. Now, this next thought completely flips the traditional script we've all been taught. We're constantly told that to forgive is divine. But the harsh reality in Nietzsche's eyes is that forgiving absolutely everything, including repeated willful disrespect, isn't actually wisdom. It's self-abandonment. It is literally abandoning your basic fundamental right to be treated with human decency. So, we are left with a pretty stark choice. On one hand, you have blanket forgiveness, which basically means tolerating toxic behavior and ultimately losing your dignity. On the other hand, you have distance, rejecting the behavior. Nietzsche reminds us that the respect others give you depends entirely on the respect you give yourself. It is only when you reject these disrespectful behaviors and make your dignity totally non-negotiable, when you choose distance over blind forgiveness, that people truly begin to respect you. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a powerful realization. Not everyone deserves your infinite forgiveness. Some people simply deserve your distance. I want you to take a hard look at the relationships in your life right now. Are there people committing these acts of disrespect against you? Who deserves your distance today? Think about it. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Nietzsche's philosophy, and I'll catch you in the next